Alright, here we go. This is part 4. Part 4? Yeah, part 4 of the tutorial. This is going to be Storm Eagle's stage. If you're doing the iceless route, this will be your 3rd stage. Otherwise, it'll be Eagle's 2nd, which is the more beginner-friendly route. I'm going to show both routes. They're going to look totally different, right? So with iceless, you're going to be doing carpet, flying over most of the stage, whereas without iceless, you're going to be doing the stage and having to manage those platforms and stuff. So it's going to go a lot quicker, I think, now that I've gotten through most of the basic movement type stuff, and we can just sort of fire out some stages. So here we go. First, I'm going to do some carpet stuff. So buckle up. I guess I could start at the beginning. First thing you want to do is you just want to dash jump and kill that guy. You want to get on this thing right away. You can jump and get on the left side of this elevator. I'm going to start over from the beginning of the stage and make a state. You need a dash limit to kill this guy. I don't know if do you even need to kill him. I think you can just dash right under him if you wanted to. Yeah, you don't need to bother. But I always kill him. Kills more death, it's better. IMO. You can get up here and get on the left side of this platform, or you can wait if you wanted and try to get on the right side. So it's a little harder. So there's no real point in doing that. Ugh. Let's see, I can't even do it. Let's get on the left side. It's way easier. Let's jump near the top. Okay, for carpet or for no carpet, either way, when getting this heart, I use this platform, the one that just went by. When they line up to each other, here is when I'll jump. Dash jump to the left to get to the heart. I'm also looking at this guy. I'm looking at his elbows as well on the coat hanger. Not the first one on the right, but this one. I'm looking at his elbows. When my platform lines up with his elbows and this other platform, that's when you can jump out to the left and make it here, no problem. It's a little low. I mean, if you're worried about it, obviously you can just wait a little longer. I mean, if you want, you can wait all the way to the top and you'll land all the way up top. But if you want to be fast, you want to get off there earlier. So look at the platform on the right. Has a pretty good cue for when you can leave. Okay, let's talk about phantom grabs. Phantom grabs are a pretty cool trick that allow you to do some neat stuff. You can get stuff that you wouldn't normally be able to get inside your boomerang, like these platforms, and you can ride them. It's pretty awesome. The way a phantom grab works is, bear with me, it's kind of complicated. It's not too bad, but if you have an item in your boomerang and you collect it one frame before another item is loaded, it loads into your boomerang instead of where it's supposed to load. Now this works with anything in your boomerang that you can normally grab, like a health capsule, ammo capsule, hearts, sub-tanks, things like that. Extra lives as well. It also works with a few things called miscellaneous items, I guess. And these are things you would not normally be able to grab with a boomerang, such as these platforms that we rode up, this elevator, this guy, and this guy. Another thing on the list is boss doors. You can actually phantom grab boss doors. And some other things like the falling platforms in the intro. Zam's got a pretty cool glitch password Tassie's working on that he can do stuff with. You can phantom grab the shields that these guys have. I've not really seen it happen, but it sounds cool. So there's a slew of things you can phantom grab, but most notably is these platforms here in this stage. And we're going to use that to get through the rest of the stage. So in order to do that, we want to set up, we want to line up pixel perfect, or you got a small range of pixels. that you can be standing on when you collect the heart. As long as you're at dash speed when you collect the heart and then hold right through the fanfare, it'll load these platforms on the next frame, and it'll load it into your boomerang. It's pretty cool, but it's a little hard to set up. It's not too hard. This is one of the easier phantom grabs in the run. And in order to do that, we've got a pretty decent visual cue. If you look directly below X, like below those slanted windows, you'll see that two sections of green. I'm going to use that on the way down. I want 1 to like 3 pixels of that showing on the left side of my screen. Now this can vary depending on the television you're using. If you've got pixels cut off on the left, it's going to be a little more difficult to line up. Because you won't have such a solid visual cue on the way down. But there is another visual cue on the ground you can use to set up. So I'm just going to walk off the edge and I'm going to try to line up using the green, and then I'll show you the visual cue on the ground. So this happens after you grab the heart. You throw a boomerang, you grab the heart, and you'll walk off the edge, and that looked pretty good. And you'll notice that X's front toe, his I guess it's his left foot, but it's on the right of the TV, is lined up above. How do I describe this? You see that flashing red light in the middle of the ground? And then next to that is another red light with a white dot in it. Next to that is a white section, a little white rectangle. That's your ground cue. You want to have X's front toe somewhere in that rectangle. So if you're not comfortable with the vertical, with the green cue on the way down, I know I need screenshots and a pointer would make it a lot easier. But I'm doing it live, so. But you could, I think you can tell what I'm talking about. There's this little white rectangle next to the red light. X's front toe directly above that somewhere. Like I said, there's like 3 pixels that work good. 3 or 4 maybe even, depending on your sub-pixel value, which we're not going to get into that. So somewhere in here is what you're looking for. And the idea is you want to line up here so that when you collect the heart at dash speed and holding right, it'll spawn the platforms on the very next frame. This is where you have to be. And a chalkboard, yeah, I'll have a chalkboard back here. No. So once you get lined up and the heart's on the way, you're on a timer, right? The heart's coming at you. You got to do a frame perfect vertical dash jump without moving forward, like so. So that when you collect the heart, you're still lined up on the pixel you were at, but you've also got dash speed. So that when you press right, you'll be moving at dash speed, like so. So you'll do this vertical dash jump, the heart will come in, and then you'll hold right during the heart fanfare so that you move immediately. Now I'm just going to show it to you at full speed, real quick, and then we can talk about it a little more. I goofed it. I was too far to the left. Oops. Went early. I was too far left that time. I think I was again there. Move my state up a little bit. This one looks good. And now I've got this platform underneath me. And I can ride this through the whole first half of the stage, all the way up to the helmet capsule. It's really good. Now, briefly, I want to talk about this boomerang shot. If you're standing here directly lined up, notice X's toe is perfectly lined up with the edge of the platform I'm standing on. A downward boomerang is not going to get it. Neither is an upward boomerang. Upward boomerangs are never going to get it. But if I'm 1 pixel in, right here, the downward boomerang is going to get the heart. Yeah, it's going to get the heart. So, just keep that in mind when you're trying to grab this heart. Obviously, you can be further to the right like this. I usually come in somewhere like this, do it, and then walk off immediately. Now, the key for me is that I want to walk off. I don't want to dash off because now I'm at dash speed. It might help you get to the ground faster if you're using the ground cue exclusively, which could be good if that's what you're going for. But for me, I'm using the vertical cue on the left side, and so I want to be able to line that up at walk speed rather than dash speed. It makes it a little easier. So I walk off the edge and line it up on the way down. That time I was way too far to the right. This one's pretty good, I think. Yeah. So jump and shoot the boomerang so that it arcs downward, and then just go. Walk off the edge right away. And release right when when you're in the right position, and then do an immediate, as soon as you land, maybe not as soon as you land, but do a straight vertical dash jump. By letting go of the D-pad, you want no D-pad input when you're doing this jump down here. No D-pad input, just dash and jump on the same frame so that you can jump straight up but also have dash speed. And then the most important part is that if you're lined up properly, you want to make sure that once you've collected the heart, during the fanfare, you're holding right. So that you move right as soon as possible. The very first frame that you regain control after the fanfare, you're moving right. So the easiest way to do that is to just hold right during the fanfare. Now Tiki has also got another tutorial on carpet, which I will link in the description. But I'm also going to try to cover it myself. So this is the hardest part of the trick, is just getting this grab, and it's not even that hard, honestly, once you get used to it. So just, spend some time just practicing this. You can even just spend some time practicing doing vertical dash jumps. This is why I suggested R dash, but it's by no means impossible with other dash configurations. It's got a little bit of a window. You'll notice that I'm getting it on several different pixels. This one's, that was a bad dash jump. You'll notice I moved before I jumped. That's bad, and you're gonna miss it almost every time, unless your lineup was bad and you get lucky. The next part of the carpet is actually, how the heck do you ride this thing, right? So, this part has got a little more possibilities, right? You could do it a few different ways. I guess the first thing I want to talk about is, you notice how X sort of moves to different positions on the platform, and that's because this platform is actually still trying to ride this track. Even though it's in the boomerang, it's still trying to ride the track. So it's gonna move around a little bit. It's gonna make adjustments, like, as it would on the track that it's supposed to be on. And so I use that for a bit of a visual cue as to when to start doing my jumps. One thing you don't want to do is you don't want to go too far right. If you go too far to the right, you get some crazy background stuff. It's going to cause a bunch of lag, and that's bad, right? And eventually it may even despawn like that. If you go left, it's going to despawn because you hit the despawn trigger for these platforms. So, the way that I do it, and this is going to be a little different for everybody, but as soon as I get on this platform, I'm holding right. You notice X is walking. And then I look for that first movement to the right, when he moves to the right edge of the platform, and then I do 2 straight jumps and then a dash jump. 2 regular full height jumps, boom, boom, and then a dash jump to the right to get off of the side of it. And then 9 kicks, dash kicks, fairly lengthy, to get over to here. This is going to vary. You're going to have to play with this a little bit for yourself, because depending on the length of the kicks you use, you're going to come down in different places. Key here, there's a very key point, that you don't want to come in too low. If you come in too low, you can actually despawn the sub-tank. sub-tank's not going to be here. And that is because there's a trigger. There's not enough room in memory for all this stuff. You've got this extra platform that's not supposed to be here. There's more platforms that are supposed to spawn. There's this sub-tank, there's these enemies, there's all sorts of stuff. So it runs out of room. And there's a spawn trigger for these upcoming platforms with these flamethrower guys. Can't see them, but I think they're there. Maybe not. Anyways, you know the ones I'm talking about. You've probably fallen in the pit many times because of their flamethrowers. Anyways, you gotta fly over that trigger to leave room for the sub-tank. So in order to do that, you gotta make sure you get enough height. And that's another thing you're just gonna have to sort of play with to figure out what exactly works for you. But for me, what I do, as soon as he shifts to the right on the platform, I do 2 full height jumps, 1, 2, and then jump off the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 dash kicks. And I come down right pretty close to where I want to be to get this sub-tank. Another good cue for me, at least the way I do it, is you'll notice that I get to the top of the screen just before I start falling. And the idea is, ideally you come down just barely clearing the corner and can turn around and get that sub-tank right away. I did 10 kicks there on accident. Sometimes you land on the edge, that's okay. Just dash off and shoot a boomerang back. You gotta break the glass so you can get in there and get the sub-tank. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, now we're in here. We've got the sub-tank. Yeah, you can grab the tank with the boomerang too. I don't think there's really any point because you gotta wait here for this platform to come back down so that you can get on it again. So now we've got the sub-tank. You've got a couple options for the second half of the flight. You're going to remount it the same way though. You're going to turn around and jump out here to the right. And the platform will come to you, right? Because it's in the boomerang. It's trying to get to you. And there's this platform down here. This is what I do. It's a little safer strat. It's slightly slower than the other strat I'll try to show. But for me, it's much easier and much smoother to drop down here. So in order to do that, you just dump, you dash jump out here and get on the side of it again. 2 full dash kicks and you'll land right here. Perfectly safe. Now sometimes you may end up on top of it, and the same thing applies. You just want to do 1, 2 dash jumps and you'll still land here. Even if they're not wall kicks, right? Even if it's 1 dash jump and a wall kick, you'll still come down in the same spot. The reason I didn't land on top of it that time was because I jumped late. But ideally, you're going to be kicking the side of it. 1, 2, you're here. Just jump straight up. 1, 2, jump straight up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 should get you here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now the idea here is you want to shoot this gap just right so that you can land over here on this thing without having to kick the wall. And that can be a little harder than it looks, but with this low platform setup, it's pretty easy. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Let go of right a little bit because you don't want to clip this because now you'll lose your dash speed and you'll just fall down. Oh, what am I doing? Two dash kicks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you want to shoot this gap at full dash speed without touching anything. so that you can just make it over to this platform and blow these tanks up. The other option here is to not fall down there, do the baby drop like I do. Don't come down here. You can just fly straight across. And you do that by mashing. Now they tell me there's a pretty specific rhythm, but I can never get it right. And this is a problem. Notice now that I came in really high because my mash is bad, and the clouds are now moving in the background. That's going to cause lag for the rest of the stage. We want to avoid that if at all possible. So in order to do that, you got to stay low. You got to come in pretty low. Oh no. I made a bad state. Alright. I'm going to start over. But in order to avoid triggering the clouds, you got to stay low. And come in just above the tower there, or whatever. Came in pretty low that time. Okay. See, this is never going to work because I mounted it really high. So, see, I triggered the clouds again because I came in too high. And you can do that from this bottom one. This is one of the main reasons I use this baby drop, they call it. Is that you don't have to mash for one, and I suck at mashing, but you run a very low risk of triggering the clouds. The cloud trigger is just like, it's somewhere like right there. It's not very high above this, and you've got to clear this. So using the baby drop, I'm able to shoot in there almost perfectly almost every time. Whereas with this setup, I'm very inconsistent. That one was actually probably the best one I've ever done. But you know, it's up to you. This is going to be faster. If you can get this down, you're actually going to save a little time over me. But you're going to lose it all if you trigger those the background clouds. So it's up to you. I recommend the baby drop, at least to start with, until you get more familiar with how the carpet works, and decide for yourself what you want to do. But this is very consistent and much easier for me, for sure. So up to you again. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. You don't want to land up there. Okay, now that we're here, the platform ride is over. The boomerang that has it in it is gonna crash into these, and it's gonna disappear. And then the platform will continue its path as if nothing happened. It's just gonna go around. Now, to break these things, you're not gonna be able to swap weapons right away, because that platform is still coming down and it's got a boomerang in it. So you can start with mashing boomerangs. I usually just stick with boomerangs and start double mashing to break these. And you just simply want to dash in here and get your helmet. Pretty straightforward. Another option is going to be 7, 8, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, this is not a very good state because I came down so early. 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. The other option is going to be to shoot a few boomerangs while you're waiting for the platform to come down, and then swap to ice once the platform hits and you're able to swap. And now, with these ice shots, we talked about it previously, I think, in Quanger, about their ricochet principles, and how you can use that to dish out massive damage by planting the ice shot inside something so that all the ricochets also hit. And for this, you do that by, you don't want to be right next to it because you can't dash, right? No dash allowed when you're standing right next to it. All you need is a couple pixels away. And let go of the D-pad. This is a one-handed technique. You want to dash and then shoot while he's dashing so that the shot is put inside of these. And all the ricochets will also hit. And you can break it in as few as 3 ice shots. I already put 4 boomerangs in it, so it only takes 2. But you notice that all these ricochets are hitting it. Okay. But I'm not using any D-pad. Dash, shoot, and it's over. Because if you hold right, you're going to end up right next to it and you can't dash anymore. So, that's the other technique for breaking this. That covers the carpet. I'm going to go back to the start of the stage and cover how to get here without carpet. And then we'll wrap up the stage because they're the same after the helmet capsule. So, if you're doing Eagle second, you won't have ice. You won't have sea sting. I mean, you won't have boomerangs. You'll only have ice. Ice will be your only option here. So the start of the stage is the same. You can use the same visual cue to get over here and get the heart. You still need to go get the heart. You just don't have boomerangs to grab it, so you're just going to have to dash over here and grab it. And then drop down and get back on the elevator. From here, what I used to like to do was I'll kill this guy, and then we can use this platform to get up a little faster. By also using the wall. Something like that. Now you gotta watch out for this grabber because he will get you sometimes. The easiest way is just gonna be to wait until you can get to the wall. Or even easier is gonna be to just wait and wait and wait and wait and wait and wait and then go. But in order to be fast, this is gonna be your fastest way. It's gonna get you to the wall a little quicker. Notice I do a little zigzag kickaroo to get through here pretty quickly. It's not very hard. You might goof it up a few times, but once you get the hang of it, it's pretty easy. Watch out for that guy. Okay, now we're on this airport sign. You got to take out this guy. This is your elevator up to your sub-tank. So, in order to do that, we're gonna shoot a dash lemon near the top of this slope to take him out, so that we can jump on our elevator right away. And once you're on the elevator, you want to just stand still, and it'll start going up. I think Caleb once said that if you're moving around, the timer doesn't start. I don't know. Seems like it works to me, so. Just take him out with a dash lemon, get on here, and up we go to get our sub-tank. Now here there's 2 different strats for this radio tower or whatever, and they're going to have an effect on the upcoming platforms. All these platforms, this is a pretty tricky segment for multiple reasons. For one, the platforms are constantly moving. There's flamethrower guys on them that can shoot you, knock you in the pit. There's insta-death pit all around you. In order to go fast, you're going to have to do it the same every time. And that way, the platforms will always be the same, the flamethrowers will be in the same spots, and you can know what to expect. And for that, there's 2 different strategies, which is going to have 2 different flamethrower placements and platform placements. First one I'm going to cover is the bonk strategy. You just bonk this blue guy in the radio tower here. And in order to do that, first thing we got to do is we got to break this so we can get in here. Now there's a couple ways you can do that. You can just sort of, you can stay on lemons and kick and break it and go. What I like to do is I like to have ice on and shoot it so that I can get up here in one jump without the wall kick. Alright. Boom. We're in. Okay. Once we're in, we're gonna just bonk this guy, switch to Buster, and shoot that. This is what it looks like at full speed. I don't know how to. Gonna slow it down. You gotta grab this sub tank, and you want to short hop over that guy so that you land on this platform, and then jump to this one as it's coming up. I'm gonna grab the E-tank, a little short hop over this guy, another short hop. Well, not that short. Grab your E-tank, short hop, medium hop. This guy's not supposed to be here. What have I done? Why is this not the way I expect it to be? Yeah, okay. Normally he's not going to be there. If he's there, if you've got flamethrowers in places that you don't expect them to be, don't kill him. Because all that's going to do is going to trigger more flamethrowers to spawn. If you leave them alive, there's going to be fewer flamethrowers in your way. Now, oh my god. Once you bonk this guy, you gotta swap off and use Buster, because ice is weird. But short hop, medium hop, we get to this one and we want to, right here. And on this one we gotta wait a little bit, because the platform is too high to get to, obviously. So we get to this first one where this flamethrower is not supposed to be. I don't normally do this strat. Well, I don't normally do any of these platforms. I fly over them. We gotta wait here so we can get on this one. Ideally, you can get right on top of that next one, so like this. And jump straight across. And then in order to get up here, remember, when we're climbing, regular kicks about 20 frames apart, or 1/3 of a second, all the way up. Now the last one we want to be a dash kick over the top, so that we can get down here and do that ice stuff we talked about. You can take it down with 3 ice shots pretty easy. The other strategy is going to be to kill this guy. Now it's going to generate a ton of lag right away, but remember how we had to wait on that platform? We don't have to do that with this strategy, so that's where the time save comes in. This is actually a little faster than the other strat. And we're gonna kill this blue guy. And in order to do that, we're gonna take advantage of the ricochets of the ice again. Now this is gonna be a recurring thing with the ice. It's actually a pretty powerful weapon. The idea here is that we want to shoot a shot so that the blue guy spawns on top of the ice shot, and the ricochets all hit him because it's inside of him when he spawns. And then we want to shoot another one when we're right up close to him, like we do with the breakaway wall right before the helmet capsule. So in order to do that, we have to shoot the first shot very precisely. And the way I do that is I'm looking at this. I guess it's the frame between the second and third window. So when I'm dashing and X's head hits that, that's when I shoot. And you see how it hit him? All the ricochets hit him as well. As long as you don't stop moving. So I'm looking at this right here. This frame between the second and third window. And you gotta do a jump, and then you want to do another one right in front of him while you're dashing, and it'll take him out pretty easily. It's a little tricky at first, but you'll get the hang of it. And this is what this one looks like at full speed. Didn't make it. Normally you can get on top of that one. Ice shot, ice shot. We want to swap and start charging right away. do the same set of jumps, but we gotta. This guy's gonna be here, so we gotta take him out. So this part is gonna be the same. Whoa. This first part up to the green platform is going to be the same. Here we jump, shoot the charge shot, and then one dash lemon should take him out. You don't want to take him out too soon, because then you're just going to spawn another flamethrower early. It's going to be in your way. Goof some movement here already, so this might not be very good. You do have to do a little walk there so that you can make it on top of that platform. Oh my gosh, stop. Okay, on this one you gotta walk some. Uh-oh. Oh no. Oh my god, that was terrible. Bad teacher. Bad save states. Ignore the C-Sting. You'll never have C-Sting here. Unless you're doing Chameleon third or any percent beat. Okay, let's try this again. 2 shots to take him out. Start charging right away. The sub-tank will be there. Oh my gosh, the sub-tank's not there anymore. It's kind of what it looks like. You gotta land on the last platform. Jump, charge shot, jump, dash, lemon. And then you can use this platform to get to this one. And you want to use... He's not going to be there. Like I said, you kind of want to wait for the second platform after the green tower here to get very near the top, and you can land on top of that one. And that's what it's supposed to look like. These could look wildly different in your runs, just because if you don't do it exactly the same every time, things are gonna get weird. But you'll get used to it and you'll figure it out where these guys are gonna be. But these are the fastest ways to get through here and the most consistent, other than flying with a platform in your boomerang. So that's what that one's supposed to look like. Now we come in here and get our helmet. And the helmet's kind of useless, but also required for 2 things. One, for getting the Buster upgrade in Mana Stage, and then 2, for just because it's required to get Hadoken. So it's going to do this little demo. You have no control. Now here, when you're exiting the helmet area, depending on whether or not you did carpet, there may be a platform in your way. It may be in perfect position to give you a sweet jump, but the idea is I do a kick off the wall here. Not required. Probably doesn't save any time. You can just do a dash kick off this wall as well. And then it's like 5 kicks to get up this wall. You can ignore most of these guys. These guys have to be taken out. They're in your way. You can either do it like I do with a couple of dash lemons. You can start a charge that way. A little laggy. It's because the background's moving. If you had done carpet properly, the background won't be moving. If you're not doing carpet, then the background's always going to be moving. I like to shoot 2 lemons at him. I like to shoot this guy, and then a lemon, and then another lemon for this guy. And you want to start charging here, because there's going to be a turret in your way that you need to take out. And without any other weapons, Buster's your best option for this turret. I usually just start charging when I kill that guy. These platforms, obviously that's going to be slow. You want to just jump on the middle one and get on the wing here. Honestly, I can't remember how to do this. One charge shot and 3 lemons, I think. The easiest way to get by these guys is just going to be to come up here, jump over him, and the second one's going to shoot a missile at you. You can just sort of do a wiggle away from the missile to get over the top of him as well. Strange how fast you forget strategy. The fastest way, obviously, is going to be to kill him so that you don't have to turn around. You kill this first one before he shoots the missile, I think, is the idea. And then, yeah, something like that. And to enter the Eagle battle, you actually don't need to go through the door. This door is pointless. You can just go around and get right on this elevator. It's bothering me that I can't figure this out. Yeah, there it is. So, you want to shoot the full charge as you're dashing up this slope, onto the purple stuff. And then you want to shoot 2 or 3 more dash lemons to take him out. And do a short hop. He's still going to shoot the missile, so you have to jump over his missile, but he's not here. So you can land here and jump over this guy and his missile as well. Something like that. And then we want to dash jump off the edge. We want to do this thing I talked about a little bit before as well, called pre-acceleration, where you jump early so that you start accelerating downwards in these falls like this. So you want to sort of barely clear this edge on the jet or whatever this is. You want to sort of barely clear that and then cut back left. You can actually avoid both the drops. The one you really want to skip is the health, because it's going to slow you down, obviously, if you've taken any damage, that is. But you can actually dodge both of them. Okay, once we get here, we can just dash. If we're holding left and dash onto this platform, we'll get onto it. If you let go of left, you're falling. You don't want to be holding a charge when you enter this fight, because the explosion of the ship coupled with the background moving and X charging is going to cause a ton of lag. And so you want to just come in here without a charge. Now you want to make sure you dash onto this. You're holding left, dash onto this. And now an interesting thing occurs when you enter a cutscene at dash speed. You're actually still dashing when you regain control. Now you notice if I jump, I have dash speed, and also the first shot I shoot is going to deal 2 damage as a dash lemon, even if I'm not dashing. I'm just holding right. And that'll happen on boss doors, this elevator, and capsules as well. Whenever a cutscene takes you out of the middle of a dash, when you regain control, you're going to have sort of a stored dash state. It's kind of weird, but it only works for the first shot. So the Eagle fight is pretty simple. It's going to cost you a lot of time, a lot of times. Depending on how many dives he does. This is actually a pretty good looking fight. Are you kidding me? The literal God Eagle. He never left the ground. Okay, some basics about the Eagle fight. Dash lemons are going to do 2 damage. Regular lemons are going to do 1. These green shots, these mid charges, they're only going to do 1. So there's no point. You don't ever want to shoot a green shot at Eagle. Ever. There's no point at all. These full charge blue shots, they're going to do 2 damage. The same as your dash lemons. But sometimes, like when he hovers, that's the only way you're going to be able to hit him. So... the ideal fight with Eagle is going to be lots of dash lemons. Start a charge when he starts hovering, and you can hit him with a charge for 2 damage. Make sure it's a blueberry and not a green popsicle, because those are only going to do 1. The way I start this fight, actually, is I'll start by mashing the shoot button. Because the first lemon is going to be a dash lemon. And you just want to get that out as quick as possible. And then just start chaining dashes, trying to stay close-ish to him. And keep him on iframes with dash lemons as much as possible. Until, obviously, he leaves the ground. And now, I start charging, and I'll use blueberries on every dive. You don't have to, use blueberries, you can continue to use dash lemons. But see now, since I wasn't charging, I'm unable to hit him until I garner a charge for the hover. Because you can't reach him with your dash lemons when he hovers. So, for me, the strat is to hold a charge, because you're able to get a blue charge between every dive. And you don't have to do this dashing and moving around stuff. You can just do stuff like this. I shot it way early. Another thing you want to watch out for when you're fighting Eagle is once he starts diving, you don't want to be near the edge. Because... Did I really just get another literal God Eagle? Okay. You don't want to be near the edge like this, because if he comes down on the right side of you to hover, you're guaranteed that he's not going to come all the way down to the ground, because there's no ground for him to come down on. If he comes down on the left, you're okay, because he can get on the ground. But if he comes down on your right side, he's going to go back up and start diving again, which you don't want. So you want to stay near the center of the stage when fighting Eagle. Oh, see, I think with that stupid green popsicle. Another thing to keep in mind when Eagle starts diving, he's got sort of limits or restrictions. He can dive 1 time, and then he can come back down right now. But once he dives a 2nd time, you're guaranteed at least 6 dives in a row. Somewhere between 6 and 9. 9 is the max dives you can do without coming down for a hover. Obviously, you can go right back up after a hover and give you more, but 9 in a row is the max. You can get 1, and if you come, and he can come down after 1. But once he does a 2nd dive, you know that you're going to get at least 6 dives out of Eagle. Somewhere between 6 and 9. Keep that in mind. You can use that to your advantage in certain situations. Like, for me, how I hit him low like this, well, if I only need to hit him 4 times and he's already dove twice, maybe on the last one I know he's going to dive, I know it's not going to be a hover, so I can hit him a little higher with a dash limit to finish him. Minor time saves, but they're all pretty huge. I mean, every time save is huge. So, like I said, the eagle fight is pretty straightforward. But there's kind of a lot you need to look out for. Let's see, he did one there and came back down. That's why you always kind of want to have a charge ready when there's a chance that he can come down and hover. He can also do his little baby bird vomit as many times as he wants while he hovers. Three, 4, 5, 6. Now he can come down. Yep, there he is. And right back up. 1. Nope, 2. So now I know I'm getting 6. 3, 4. And now I know this is going to be a dive, so I can ready a dash limit. I wouldn't say better, necessarily. Like, unless it's the last lemon like I just did to finish the fight, because you can hit him a little earlier, but you're going to have to wait between hits anyways. I don't think it generates any lag during the fight. Not noticeable lag anyways. Oops. I don't do this fight anymore because of the new chameleon third route, so. Another thing I forgot to mention is that you can kill him off screen, sort of mostly, and his explosion will be off screen and generate less lag as well. So that's something that to consider if you have the chance, because this is one of those battle arenas where it's actually wider than a screen, so you can kill him off screen. I don't notice any lag from the charge, but you might be right. It might be better to do the dash limits, as long as they're dash limits. See, I'm not seeing any lag at all. You're not going to save time like on the hits because the time between hits is going to be the same. The only time it's going to save time is on the last one. To hit him a little earlier. But even like with the charge shots, like I said, you could do it. Go back up. Keep going. You can do the charge shots early as well. That's just the way I've always done it, is to dash under and avoid that way. If you go up again, go dive. Dude, he doesn't want to dive. Alright. Like, you can do charge shots like this that hit him as early as a dash limit would and not have to worry about it. But the way I always did it was to dash underneath him. Anyways, I think that wraps up part 4. So, thanks for watching. Next time, what's next? Mammoth. Mammoth is next. Coming over here. So, thanks for watching. And we'll get Mammoth up here within the next couple days, probably. So, until next time, peace.